Hear ye, here comes the judge. It is the yogi and the judge, Judge Dawson, with another podcast to give you some information that you can use to enrich your life. Or at the very least, I try to give you something to think about when it comes to leadership, success, and avoiding negative interaction with the legal system, that thing I call the legal matrix. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know that I try to bring you something of value every time I get on the mic. I don't spend a lot of time here. I try not to waste your time, but I want you to walk away with something that you can share with somebody else. Maybe it's some words, maybe it's some encouragement, or just sharing the podcast so that we can grow as a family. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about 5 minutes of funk. Now, when I speak of 5 minutes of funk, I'm not talking about that nice intro, that music that I created along with my daughter. I'm talking about how sometimes we find ourselves in a funk. Sometimes we find ourselves in a fit of frustration and depression. And it's okay, because we're all human and we are going to go through ups and downs in this life. I mean, there is nobody who has just a perfect life. I don't care if you're the richest man in the world. You have issues, you have challenges. And some of us think we want those challenges, but we really don't, because we all have challenges. So don't think that anyone's better than anyone else and that, people don't get in a funk, because we all do. And then if you take some of the things that happen, some of the current events, deaths of celebrities and killings and people going to jail, stuff I see every day, it is natural to be in a funk. But here's the key, ladies and gentlemen. When you are in a funk, you have to realize that you are minimizing your ability to be the absolute best you can be. You're minimizing your ability to make great decisions because you're going to operate from an area of depleted energy, right? You're in a funk, so you're not going to make the best decision for yourself. You're in a funk, so you're not going to make the best decision for your family. And you definitely will not make the best decision for your career. But the good news, ladies and gentlemen, is that we all go through it, but there's a way to go through it a little bit better, a way to go through it so that you don't destroy opportunities and you don't put yourself in a position where you can't recover. So here's the key. The key to getting through a funk is to limit the time that you allow yourself to feel that negative emotion. Limit the time that you will allow yourself to be depressed about that breakup. Limit the time that you will allow yourself to be frustrated because your boss is not doing exactly what you want him or her to do. Limit your time that you're going to be upset because your kids or your family, they aren't acting the way that you want them to act. See, we're going to be upset. Like I said in the beginning, we're going to be depressed often. That just happens. That's just life. But we can control how much time we allow it to happen. Think about it. You have maybe experienced this yourself, or maybe you watch somebody else go through it over and over again. They keep talking about the same situation. They're so sad about this. They're so disappointed about that. And they continue to relive that cycle. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I'm all about being a cycle breaker. And there are tools in order to break a cycle. The first one is to limit the time that you allow yourself to be in that funk. So here are some tips for you as I begin to close with this podcast. Because again, I don't have to hold you long. I just want to be of value to you. This is how you give yourself 5 minutes of funk. First, fully identify what it is that's bringing you down. What happened? What got you upset? What did they say? What did they do? And then identify who or what or why you feel the way you do. When I say who, again, who is it? Is it somebody that's close to you? Is it somebody that even matters? Why? Why do you feel the way you do? Has someone attacked your character? Has someone made you upset? Did someone cost you financially? You got to figure out why. And then the third step is to determine how much time you are going to allow yourself to be in that funk. I suggest 5 minutes, but maybe it's 5 hours. Maybe it's something serious. Maybe it's 5 days. Maybe it's 5 months. I don't know. It all depends on the gravity of the harm, right? And I'm not here to judge what you feel. I'm just saying that give yourself the time to be in a funk so you can give yourself the time to rebound. And then when you set that time limit for your funk, go all in. I mean, really feel those emotions. Get it all out. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to yell, yell. And then after that, begin to plan your comeback. How am I going to get out of this funk? How am I going to climb out of this hole so that I don't destroy my life? And then the last part of this 5 minutes of funk is once you determine how you're going to make your comeback, don't think about that negative emotion again. Now, I'm not saying don't think about the situation or think about the person. I'm just saying you don't have to relive the negativity that was brewing in your heart and your soul over that situation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to run. Have to go to court. I am a judge and I am a yogi. But most importantly, I'm just a servant trying to give you information that can enrich your life. So if you enjoyed any part of this podcast, share with somebody else. And otherwise, until I meet you again, have a blessed day and namaste.